The restaurant was bright with daylight spilling through tall glass windows, the kind that made everything shimmer, the polished silverware, the soft Christmas decorations, even the quiet hope sitting in Mia's chest. But that hope cracked the moment she saw the man she had been waiting to meet turn his back and walk away. No explanation. No attempt to understand. Just a quick glance at her hearing aids, a tightening in his jaw, and then the sharp, cold sting of rejection right in the middle of a Christmas afternoon. Mia sat perfectly still, her fingers tracing the edge of her water glass, pretending she couldn't feel the stares of people around her. She wished she could mute their pity the way her deafness muted the world, but somehow, their eyes were louder than any sound. This moment was supposed to be a new beginning, a chance at connection after years of loneliness, yet it shattered before it even started. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that heal the heart, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Kindness Thread. Your support truly matters. Mia tried to steady herself, mentally reminding her heart that she was used to moments like these. Ever since childhood, she had learned how to stand firm through the silent storms of misunderstanding. But today, on Christmas Day, the hurt sank deeper. Outside the window, the world moved in slow warmth, families taking pictures near a decorated tree, children laughing, couples sharing coffee, but Mia felt suspended in an empty bubble, watching life happen without her. She came here because she believed she deserved something good, something soft, something real. Now she swallowed her disappointment, trying to appear composed while the waitress, her eyes filled with gentle sympathy, placed a menu in front of her in case she wanted to stay. The kindness both warmed and ached in her chest. The air smelled faintly of cinnamon and roasted coffee, and sunlight danced through ornaments hanging across the room. Despite the festive surroundings, Mia felt the weight of being alone on a day meant for closeness. She had always imagined Christmas filled with warmth, shared stories, and laughter she could feel even if she couldn't hear it. Instead, she had grown accustomed to celebrating with silence as her companion. She glanced down at her hands, the hands that spoke her entire language, hands that carried her voice. Would anyone ever listen? Would anyone ever choose her without hesitation? As she sat quietly, trying to gather the courage to stay a little longer, something unexpected stirred on the other side of the restaurant. Two little girls, identical twins with matching red bows, kept glancing at her from their table. At first, Mia assumed they were merely curious, the way children often were around her. But then she noticed something unusual, the way their eyes softened whenever they looked at her, the way their tiny fingers tapped nervously together, as if holding back a secret. Their mother sat beside them, exhausted and slightly overwhelmed, nursing a cup of tea while managing their restlessness. Mia looked away gently, not wanting to make them uncomfortable. She didn't realize the twins were whispering urgently to each other, not with their voices, but with their hands. They had noticed the moment the men walked away from Mia. They had seen the disappointment on her face. And in their innocent hearts, something sparked, a desire to give kindness where it was needed most. Moments later, the twins slid off their chairs and walked hesitantly toward her table. Their mother tried to call them back, but the girls shook their heads with a rare determination, the kind only children with pure hearts could carry. Mia looked up in confusion when she saw them standing beside her, their small faces glowing with a kind mix of shyness and confidence. Then, without a word spoken, the twins lifted their hands and signed slowly, carefully, as if afraid to make a mistake. "Can we join you?" Mia froze, her breath catching in her throat. Her heart cracked open in a way she hadn't expected, flooded with warmth so sudden it almost hurt. She hadn't seen anyone outside her small deaf community sign to her in a long time, especially not children. Their tiny fingers shaped each word with sincerity, their smiles bright, their eyes shining with kindness. It felt unreal, like the world had suddenly shifted into something gentler, kinder. Mia nodded, tears pressing against her eyelids, and motioned for them to sit. The twins giggled silently and climbed into the chairs across from her, their mother rushing over apologetically until Mia reassured her with a warm gesture that everything was okay. The woman relaxed, explaining with slight embarrassment that the twins had recently started learning sign language because their school teacher believed every child should know the basics of how to communicate with others. They weren't fluent, but they had learned enough to recognize someone who might need a little bit of kindness. As daylight streamed across their table, the restaurant around them softened into a warm blur. Mia watched the twins try their best to sign stories about their day, their Christmas wishes, and their excitement over the holiday decorations. She replied in gentle signs, slowing down whenever they got confused, guiding their hands with patience that mirrored the tenderness they had shown her. The mother, though she didn't know sign language herself, watched the interaction with deep emotion. She hadn't expected her children to understand loneliness this deeply, nor to respond with such compassion. Slowly, Mia's world shifted. The silence she often lived in felt less heavy, less isolating. These children didn't see her deafness as a weakness, nor did they treat her as someone difficult to know. They simply saw a woman sitting alone on Christmas and decided she deserved company. Their innocence created a bridge where adults often built walls. For the first time in a long while, Mia felt seen, not as someone with a limitation, but as someone who belonged. Together, they spent the afternoon sharing stories in signs and smiles. The twins showed her their favorite hand symbols, stumbling adorably into mistakes that made Mia laugh softly, laughter she felt more than heard. The mother shared her gratitude for meeting someone like Mia, someone who reminded her that kindness mattered more than anything else in the world they were raising their children in. Even the waitress paused to admire the scene, touched by the unexpected connection unfolding under the bright Christmas daylight. As Mia looked at the twins' joyful faces, she realized something powerful. She had walked into this restaurant hoping for love from one person who rejected her immediately. Instead, she found kindness, acceptance, and warmth from two little souls who understood her without needing to hear a single word. It was a reminder that sometimes the love we seek is not romantic, sometimes it's the gentle love of strangers who decide, even for a moment, to make the world softer. By the time they stood to leave, the twins gave her a tight hug, their arms small but their impact immeasurable. They signed, "Merry Christmas," with wide smiles before running back to their mother. Mia sat there for a long moment, watching them go, feeling her heart transform. She wasn't alone anymore, not today, not in this moment. The memory of their kindness would live with her long after the decorations came down. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Your support helps us spread more stories that heal and inspire. Before we end, write in the comments, "Kindness makes miracles." Mia stepped out into the crisp Christmas afternoon with a smile that reached her soul. The world felt brighter, her steps felt lighter, and for the first time in years, she believed that beautiful things could still find her, even in silence.
Boludo. De mi incapacidad. Qué buen álbum que es este, boludo. ¿Cómo estoy esperando a que esta chica saque el 6 la otra canción? Yo tengo que hacer un video con esta chica.